month and a half ago, I joined Atlassian as a software engineering intern and got very positive feedback straight away. So is there something you can learn from it? Hang around for the next few minutes and I'll share with you 3 tips and some questions you can ask, which will definitely supercharge your performance as an intern. Stay tuned. It all starts the second you walk in the door or open up the laptop, depending on if you're working from home or not, and that's onboarding. It's probably going to be a huge overload of information, but you want to get onboarding out of the way as soon as possible. You can get that done by lunch on the first day. That's going to be awesome and definitely will make you stand out straight away. When you're in the actual meeting, you want to demonstrate to the person you're meeting with that you want to be here and you want to learn, because that's what internship is about, learning. Everyone knows you're going to be asking loads of questions, but the first you have to make sure you ask in order to make your road easier later on is, first of all, which software do you need to download for your specific team? Likely a lot of it is covered in the onboarding, but teams usually do use some specific software and you do need to install it before getting into doing anything else for the actual work. Apart from that, make sure you know where the documentation is, because it's going to be incredibly helpful in your entire time there. And last, but definitely not least, is asking about expectations and performance requirements. My favorite way of asking this question is this: what would I need to have done by the end of this internship in order for you to consider me as a good hire? This will force your manager to imagine you as being a good hire and literally give you a roadmap of what to do. And if you do that, you will be a good hire, as they told you. Once you've done that, it might be tempting to start reading through repositories or documentation, but actually it's best to ask for a ticket straight away. You probably won't know how to do it straight away or where to even start looking to do it, but you'll likely want to pair with another engineer. And this way you'll learn much more than simply reading the documentation. When you join, you really want to think, how can I become useful and productive as quickly as possible? And with that, remember, even though it might seem like it, you are not competing against other people there, because they are much more experienced than you. You are competing against other interns and those who are just starting out. So how do you actually become useful and productive? That brings us to tip number 2, adding value. Pause for a moment and think, what unique perspective do you have when going into the company? It might seem like you don't really know anything and you're still learning, but you actually do have a very unique perspective. You've just onboarded as an intern. That one thing, onboarding for other interns, is one of the most valuable insights you can provide for the company. Onboarding guides were written by people who spent years in the industry for other people who also spent years in the industry. They don't remember what it was like when they just started out. Therefore, just start. Documenting everything you're doing and everything you're struggling with will give tremendous value to the team. Same with tribal knowledge. If a service requires some certain software to be installed before actually running it, document that in the README. Writing code and pushing it to production is definitely fun, but every single other person on the team can probably do that too, and much better. You don't have to add value to the team in the exact same way as everyone else. As long as you do, that's all that matters. Spend 30 minutes to an hour every single day documenting what you're struggling with and what would have fixed it or made it at least better. This will add tremendous value and will increase your chances of getting hired dramatically. Last but not least, strive to be independent. Companies love independent interns because guess what? No one there wants to be your mom or dad. Most interns, myself included, don't really know what they're doing, and everyone understands that. So it's perfectly okay to ask a lot of questions. However, there is an enormous difference between asking, how do I install JavaScript, and saying, hey, I'm trying to run the service locally and it's not documented in the README. Can you please take a look? First, shows that you're not really willing to do anything by yourself. But second, shows that you've attempted the problem, done some research, and you're asking for help when you're actually needed. A good rule of thumb which I follow is to spend at least 10 minutes doing some research before asking for help. This can be both Googling and searching through the company documentation, because once you ask for help, you want to send links to the documentation, so you also save time for that person to research. Now, this tip doesn't mean spending 2 days on a simple yes or no question which anyone could have answered, but it does mean trying to solve the problem on your own before reaching out for help. After all, it also shows you taking initiative and you doing things without people having to directly tell you what to do. Also, when you send someone an update or ask a question, include the links to the documentation. It will impress them, trust me. Alright, and that's about it. If you onboard quickly, add value to the team, and strive to be independent for your entire internship, you will dramatically increase your chances of being hired after the internship is complete. I know it's easier said than done, but if you at least try to do these things, you will definitely stand out from 90% of other interns who are not even doing that. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.